everybody. So it looks like we are live. We do have my comments up. Everything seems to be working. Of course, now my video gapped out on my preview, so I'm not sure if that is working or not. We will see momentarily, I suppose. We are going to be working with the Tasteful Touches stamp set, and these are the dies that coordinate with them. So this is a bundle that's available in the annual catalog. And this is, you may have already received the packet in the mail, or it may still be in the mail. All of my team achievers and all my customers from the last month received the make and take packet, so you can actually either create these cards along with me or come back, watch the video again, make them kind of on your own time. I did want to talk a little bit about the inspiration for these cards. Now my video is just completely black. So some of you have seen my color coach / resource binder. And this is what just some of the pages look like. There's a bunch of swatches in here, color samples of cardstock, and these pages here for all of the colors have different color combination ideas. So this one, I really liked this Early Espresso, Petal Pink, and Crumb Cake. I didn't stick strictly with that. Oh good, I've got some people commenting. Thank you, Holly. At least I know that this is all working. In here there's also some reference pages, just different pieces that I find super useful. And this is also where all my technique pages go for my technique club classes. So this binder I made a few months ago, probably actually a couple years ago now, for my team members when we went to an event. Hi, Pam. It hasn't been available since. However, coming up soon, I'm going to be doing a class on this. It's going to be a virtual class. I'm once again working with Cara Paysant in the US to put this together. What you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to join on Facebook, and a lot of this stuff is going to be available for free. So if you want to build your own binder, you can actually build your own binder from the files that we post on there. If you want all of the content, so we're going to be putting out all of the color coach pages and the swatches and a bunch of sketches and stuff like that. You can actually buy a package that'll include a binder, the pages, so all the printed pages, the samples for all the papers, all of those things. So stay tuned. I'll post it on my page here. And yeah, I'm super excited for this class. I think it's a really good one to do over the summer because a lot of us don't have a ton of time to sit down and make something from scratch, but this is a really good way. It's just going to be some simple glue paper onto pages, those kinds of things that will kind of keep your head in the game but not take up a bunch of time. It's something you can take the whole kit with you, take it up to the lake, take it out to your cabin, whatever. And you don't have to bring your entire craft room worth of stuff. So that's kind of where I got the idea for these cards, was with that color combination. This bundle, of course, is available from the annual catalog. I mentioned that already. Right now, too, don't forget, for another couple of days, if you're not a demonstrator yet, and you've ever thought about joining, or you've never thought about joining and you're like, what the heck is that about? You can actually get this bundle for free right now. Holly, that binder came from Staples. It's going to be a slightly different binder for the class. So yeah, I'll share pictures and all of that. They're the half-sized statement binders is what I use there. I'm going to be using a slightly different one for the class though. So the bundle right now, don't forget, we've got the promotion going on. If you join Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator, so you join my team, you can pick any free bundle from the catalog. Anything that's available right now is a bundle, including this one. These labels are freaking fantastic. I love them. They have the little stitching detail or the little score detail that you'll see, and they are great. So you get that for free. I can't remember what the price point is for this particular bundle. I should have looked that up. But you can actually get any bundle, and they're up to almost $82, some of these bundles. So you actually get like $82 worth of free product when you join. You also get your usual, you get to pick $165 worth of product, and you only pay $135. Here in BC, that includes your taxes and your shipping. I don't know about other provinces. I think they all include, I want to say they all include the taxes, but I think one or two of them you do have to pay shipping on it, or vice versa. I can't remember. But anyways, it's a super awesome deal no matter what. And then you get your free dies. A lot of people, when they've said that, it's like, great, I get a bundle. I'd like to get dies, but I don't have a die cutting machine. So the Big Shot is no longer available. That's been unavailable for a while. We have our new die cutting machine that's going to be available coming up later in the year though, and the pre-order for that is actually coming up fast. It's going to be in August. So if you don't have a die cutting machine yet and you have a set of dies that you really like, that you'd like to get for free for that bundle, go ahead and order that and get that for free with your starter kit, because in August, demonstrators are going to be able to pre-order the new die cutting machine. So you'll actually be able to place an order in August and get that die cutting machine. Not only are you going to be able to get the die cutting machine earlier than customers, but you're actually going to be able to get it for 20% off, because that's what your discount is going to be. So any orders that you place as a demonstrator, you get at least 20% off. So that's pretty sweet. All right, if you have any questions about that, post them, because I think we want to move on to some crafting. So you should have gotten, or you will be getting, all the supplies in the mail. Some of them you've got different ribbons, and I'll just point that out as I go along. But everybody should have gotten kind of the basic supplies. If you don't have the stamp set, don't worry about it. You can use any greetings, any imagery you want to use, or you can get the stamp set. So the first card we're going to make has these bits here. So you've got some of the faux suede ribbon, which is super nice and it's super easy to tie bows with. I really like it. I've gone through a few rolls of it already, and not just because I sent you guys a bunch. So some of you also have lace for this one instead. And I don't know, oh, it's right here. So some of you got this lace instead of the faux suede ribbon for this as well. Now I was playing around with this, and I picked it because it does work on this textured, the textile side, but it actually looks really awesome on the other side against the wood grain side. So whichever one you want to do, I'm actually going to use the lace and the wood grain side to show you a bit of a different look, and then I'll show you what it looks like with the textile and the faux suede. So burnish your card base here with your bone folder, and then you are going to need a scrap piece of paper for this, and I'll show you why. We're going to use just early espresso on this one, super easy. And then you're going to ink up this feather. If you don't have the feather, you can use any flower image. If you have a different feather image, whatever you've got. I'm going to stamp it off onto the scrap paper, and then I'm going to stamp it onto my page. So it's still early espresso, but it's a little bit lighter. And you can actually even do twice, stamp it off on there, and then you've got an even lighter image. And you're going to just add a few of these little feathers onto your card base here. It's kind of just like they're floating around. There we go. The other thing you're going to stamp is on this timeless label. So that was just punched out of Whisper White. You're going to do this, "You are the best," and it fits just so perfectly into that punched image. It fits into a bunch of the die cut images too, but I wanted to keep this card nice and simple, so we weren't going to use any dies on it. Then you're going to take your wood grain or your textile side, whichever you prefer, and we're going to glue it onto our card base. And I like the liquid glue, as you know, because I can actually reposition it a little bit once it's on and kind of smoosh it around to make it straight. Okay, now we're going to take our lace or your faux suede, whichever you have, and you're going to glue that on. You can do this kind of a couple different ways. You may or may not have enough to actually wrap around and tie. What I like to do is actually kind of glue it down so that it just stays on the front. And you can do that with the Stamp and Seal, which it's nice, it's strong enough to do that with. Or I use tear and tape sometimes too. And then you just plop it down where you want it. The lace does have a bit of stretch to it, so you probably just want to make sure that it's not being stretched out as you're laying it down. And then you're just going to take your snips and trim the extra off the side. And you can see I really like this look of the lace and the wood. Is very kind of, I think boho chic is the proper term. I really should know these things. I'm a millennial after all. Okay, and then we're going to take our dimensionals. We're going to pop this up. Happy scrappy little label. And then you're going to tie a bow as well. I already have one pre-tied. I'll show you how to tie a bow a little bit later. I have one pre-tied though, so I'm just going to use that because it's sitting here, and you can pop this anywhere on your card. You do have some pearls. You may want to save those for your other cards though. If you have extras or there's anything you want to add to this card, feel free though. And then this is what it looks like with the faux suede and that textile border. So it's almost kind of like a feminine and a masculine kind of version of the same one. This would look really good just with a simple knot as well, would make it kind of a little bit less frilly. So if you were to take this and just tie that simple square knot, you could put that on there and it would be super cute as well. Untie this before I get all confused. All right, so that is the first card we've got. Then the second card, again, I love this paper because it has so much texture to it, and there's just, I feel like there's a lot going on without actually having a lot going on. Like, these are actually super simple cards, but they're kind of deceptive because there's so much texture in the papers. And then just mix and matching some different ribbons. You get a lot of texture for not a lot of super complicated stuff. So this one again, we're gonna burnish this fold, make sure it's nice and crisp. That just helps your cards stand up better. And then we're gonna start building our layers. Again, this one is super, super simple. We're gonna take our wood grain, and some of you have different wood grains. That's okay. All of our cards are going to be a little bit different. You're going to pop that onto your Rococo Rose layer here. And then we've got two pieces of this kind of like paint smudge. Again, some of you have different colors. It's all good. We're going to put the paint smudgy pieces on here as well. And these are just going to kind of go one on either side of the card. You can leave a little bit of a gap between them. And then I meant to do them a little bit more in the center, but I'm just gonna flip the whole thing around so that this is actually the middle. Now I'm gonna put this is the Rococo Rose linen, scallop linen thread. For this one, I do actually want my tear and tape. So I'm going to put that down across the middle here. Oops, lost my video here. There we go. And we're going to put that just right across the middle, centered-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's all about that texture, right? Then we have our rectangular postage stamp punch layer. Love, love, love this punch too. Let's face it, I like everything. But this is a super cute little punch. And again, it's a punch, it's not a die, that can fit so many different sentiments and images on there, just to give it that extra little bit of an edge, literally and figuratively. I forgot to put this on my card front. Oh, my video gapped out on me again. Hopefully it's working for you guys, because it's not working for me. Pop that on here. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna pop this up on dimensionals again. So that's just going to add a bit of a layer in the middle of the card here, and I just want to make sure that it's straight-ish. Okay, next step, we're going to take our length of linen thread here, and this one is quite long. So you're going to double it up, and then you're going to treat this double length of thread as if it were one. So you're going to tie a bow with both, and it really helps with the double bows if you do this kind of fairly big. Make your bunny ears really big, cross them over, then it's more obvious where that hole is to pull them both through. And then you can always make it smaller as you go. Or if you're like Kara, you can just leave it super huge and gaudy. But that's okay. We like big bows too. I like big bows and cannot lie. Oh, lordy. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna pop some glue dots on the back of this. Try to avoid taking all the dog hair with me. And then I'm gonna pop this on there. This is where you may want to put in some pearls. So you've got 6 pearls all together in your kit. So you can do kind of 3 on each card. Some of you have all the same size, some of you have different sizes. If you want to add different embellishments that you have, go right ahead. And I want to see what you do with it. With the supplies that I've got, there's so many different variations you can do. You don't have to follow these instructions to the letter. In fact, I'm kind of disappointed when people just follow my instructions blindly. So go ahead and do different things and show me what you make. This was my original card, so you can see I used 3 of the same there, and it's got a bit of a different wood grain in the back, but I like them both. They're both got lots of texture to them and are kind of awesome. So there we go. That is our second card. Okay, last but certainly not least, this is kind of the more advanced card. So this one has a lot more texture to it. I did do some die cuts and some embossing for it. So these are the pieces that you've got for this card. And then you've got either some of that petal pink ribbon or some lace as well. So I'll show you in this video how to use the lace, and then I'll show you the example with petal pink. It's really much the same, it's just different ribbon because I ran out of some of the ribbons as I was prepping, because I had to prep so many of these make and take packets, which is awesome, but I ran out of some ribbons. So rather than not send you stuff, I decided to just send you different ribbons. All right, we're doing this just saying hello sentiment in Early Espresso onto our petal pink label. And this is, again, this is one of the labels from that die set that comes with the In Good Taste stamp set that I just love. It's got the little stitches. This one has kind of an embossed edge. This reminds me of like the plaques that, you know, you'd have like a mounted fish on or something like that. I got to do something with that at some point. It's on my to-do list. And then this one we're actually going to trim a little bit off of the edges. So I'm going to kind of line these up where I want them. And then I'm going to take my trimmer and I'm going to trim off a bit of that edge. Make sure that it's straightish here. And then I'm going to trim off just a few little bits like that. And I have no idea how straight that is, but it'll work. Now I'm going to put these up on dimensionals so that they're not just flat on the page, because nothing worse than just flat, 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 flat. And we've got so much texture and so much kind of different material in these cards, whether it's actually different material like the ribbons, or we've kind of faked it with the background, the designer series papers. It's kind of cool to add those layers. It just adds to the textures too. So the emboss layer, I did the embossing for you. You're welcome. This is with the, can't remember what it's called, something textile embossing folder. That's from this suite as well. And then we are going to take our designer series paper layer and pop that up on dimensionals as well. And this one is kind of this like fabric-y, it looks like soft and like kind of like a minky blanket or something like that. All right, and now we have this label. You could just put it flat on here, but I'm gonna show you my favorite thing to do when you've got stuff that overhangs on already popped up layers. And I'm sure lots of you are familiar with this, but I like to show it anyways because somebody is gonna learn something along the way. So on the side that's not going to be on the bit that's popped up already, you're actually gonna stack two dimensionals together, so that when you put it on there, it's all going to be at the same height, because you've got one dimensional under here already, so you only need one on that side. And then on the other side, you've got two dimensionals so that it's the same height. So when you look at it on an edge like that, you can see you've got two dimensionals and one dimensional. So no matter what side you're on, this top layer is 3 dimensionals high. Alrighty, now we're going to add a few of our little texture bits. You've got a wood leaf or this little sprig, something like that, that we're going to add under here. I'm going to tuck that in somewhere under a label. And then you've got your vellum sprigs here as well. So these are punched out with the sprig punch. And again, glue dots are your friend here. I'm going to glue dot kind of 3 of these together, and then the whole kind of bundle of them underneath my label there. We still have to add a bow and some pearls to this though. It's not quite done yet. So I'm going to make a bow with my lace ribbon because I'm out of the petal pink ribbon that some of you have. And we're going to just tweak this so that it's the size I want, and then we're going to trim, oh, these are not my ribbon snips. And then with a glue dot or 2, we're going to pop this on here. Just another layer, another texture. You can't have too much texture on a card is my firm belief. And then we're going to add a few pearls. There we go. So this is the 3rd card that's in your make and takes, mail and make and take. And this is the original card. So this one I had the leaf instead of the sprig, and I had the petal pink ribbon instead of the lace. Again, they both work. There's no kind of right or wrong way. Whatever you want to use and whatever you like. If you want to throw something else on there, I'd love to see what you do. And I'm going to show you all of these cards again. And then we are done. So just different variations of the same cards and similar supplies. All right, have fun, happy stamping. Don't forget to check out the bundles. If you want to get the bundle for free, join my team. If you're not sure what the link is, just send me a message and I'll send you a link if you have any questions. And post the cards when you're done. I'd love to see your take on these cards. Happy stamping. Bye.